tough one. Did some of these papers on even, I think all of them, but like that to be, because I think that writing like papers or essays and stuff like that is really hard for me. I struggle with those. So
I think, like you said, essays are just so much pressure.
Yeah.
To meet page requirements and to say new things.
Probably the most challenging would be if there would be like more than like, let's say 5-6 pages, and it's something we would have to like be like creative.
Okay.
That's where, like I said before, like if some specific task given to me and then like to write or like what to write about and then like research it, I'm pretty comfortable with that.
Okay.
But like creating writing, and then especially if you need to get numbers, that's where I have
numbers of pages.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hate those timed writing tests too. I feel really pressured to do like. I think my work is of high quality, but usually it takes me a pretty good deal of time at home to do it. So when I'm forced to write super fast, like in an hour, like 5 pages, it's really hard for me to do a good job.
I think Paula does that.
I feel like I spend most of my time just trying to help them understand what they're reading. And if I could get to the point where they could play with it like that, that would be great. But you know, we have mostly 100-level classes. I assign fairly difficult material. And I've tried the Barbara Woolvard, have them do writing, you know, encounter the text before they come into class thing, and I found it to be pointless. Because they just couldn't understand. You can't, it's hard, you can't write about something you literally don't understand.
Yeah.
So I really struggle with that.
I was interested in the topic, but then once I researched it and went to write on it, it was so far over my head that I felt like I couldn't like, group the information. So it was just like, and then, you know, every paper, the next one, like, you wrote off the first one, and then the third one you wrote off the first two. So it was kind of like, in hindsight, I wish I would have picked a different topic, because I struggled pretty much the entire semester in this topic that was just over my head. So it was like,
I don't know if students can learn to write without reading good writing. You know, I think first you have to be a reader, and the decline of reading, I think, is a major problem among students.
I hate writing. I mean, I know I have to, like jobs, they require it, but I'm not a big fan of writing.
I just get the sort of feeling that it's just such a chore.
Yeah.
To be at school, and everything is just, it's like an insult.
Yeah.
That, you know, you would expect anything out of them, and oftentimes, you know, it's not everybody. I mean, there's, it sort of pervades. Right? If one person sort of has that in class, and then, you know, if it's just sort of, that's not cool, and then the assignment won't be, you know.
Well, I mean, it goes back to with what I was talking about with the accounting assignment.
Okay.
And I was telling you how it's kind of a struggle to do some of those assignments, because when you look at the directions or whatever and you try to find with what they're asking for, you know, it's, and you go on like the websites or whatever to try to find it, everything is worded totally different from the assignment. So it's kind of confusing to figure out. You know, and it can take hours and hours.
It is, I'll be honest with you, part of it, I'll say it on tape, I think part of the problem is that we've scared them to death about plagiarism. We just hunt the plagiarism over their head, and I've talked with them about it, and that's what they tell me. They're scared to death to plagiarize. So having an original thought, so how are we going to tell them to, don't plagiarize, don't plagiarize, don't plagiarize, and have original thoughts? Well, how do they put that piece together?
It's less stressful. You don't, like they said, you don't sit there and panic about your page numbers or whether or not your language is correct for the assignment or anything like that. But you are really taking an idea and you're really fighting with it and figuring out where you stand with it and what the idea itself even means. And sometimes in essays you don't do that. Sometimes you just state anything you can think of remotely related to it and trying to get the page length. And you don't actually deal with the idea. You sort of explain it and apply it a little bit, but you don't actually deal with the fundamentals.